Good afternoon. How many of you have ever felt like you're not enough, like you're too much, or not quite right? Have you ever looked around and wondered how everyone else seems to have it all together, while you're just trying to make it through the day? Your imperfections are not your liability. They are your link to others. Nobody relates to perfect. People connect through the cracks, through the honest, messy, me too moments. You don't have to be fearless to be brave. Real courage is showing up while your voice is shaking. It's saying, I don't know how this ends, but I'm here anyway. Perfectionism isn't striving for excellence, it's hustling for approval. Letting go of perfection doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we stop using our worth as a measuring stick. Belonging begins when you stop editing yourself. You don't find belonging by shrinking yourself to fit. You find it by expanding into your full, true self, even when it's a little awkward or a little loud. Being kind to yourself is not indulgent, it's revolutionary. Self-compassion is the quiet power that gets us through the hard days. It sounds like, I'm doing the best I can, and that's enough for today. You are not a work in progress. You are a whole human being in motion. Growth doesn't mean you were wrong before. It means you're evolving. And that evolution is worth celebrating, not criticizing. So maybe today's invitation is not to fix yourself. Maybe it's to see yourself, to remember that your worth isn't waiting on the other side of achievement. It's been there all along. Let's stop apologizing for being human. Let's stop performing for connection. Let's be soft where the world tells us to harden. Let's be real where we've been told to pretend. You don't need to be shinier, stronger, or more put together. Here is the fifth version of the speech, still in Brené Brown's voice. But this one leans even more into warmth, quiet power, and the kind of storytelling that helps people feel less alone. Think of it as a gentle but direct invitation to come as you are. Let me ask you something simple, but not easy. Have you ever felt like you were the only one still trying to hold it together while everyone else seemed to be thriving? Like everyone else got the manual for how to be confident, calm, and capable, and somehow yours got lost in the mail. You are not alone. You never were. Somewhere along the way, many of us picked up this message, subtly, loudly, over and over again, that we have to be perfect to be accepted, that mistakes mean failure, that being unsure means we don't belong, but that's not the truth. The truth is, we are all perfectly imperfect. Let that settle in, not as a clever phrase, but as a deep truth that we can build a braver life on. Let's walk through 6 truths that help us live that reality, not just nod our heads at it. Perfection is not the goal, presence is. When we're obsessed with getting everything just right, we miss the moment we're in. You don't need to impress anyone to belong. You just need to show up. You are allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. Growth doesn't cancel your worth. It's built on top of it. You don't earn your enoughness. You already have it. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's the truest kind of strength, letting people see the real you, especially the messy part, stakes guts, but it's also the only path to real connection. And real freedom, we weren't made to fit in, we were made to belong. Fitting in asks us to edit, erase, and shrink. Belonging invites us to be seen, heard, and accepted, without the filter. Speaking to yourself with kindness is a quiet rebellion in a loud, critical world. Self-compassion isn't soft, it's strong. It's how you keep going when things are hard. And it's how you learn to love yourself in the process. Your worth was never meant to be proven, only remembered. You don't have to wait until you've arrived, to rest, to love, to live fully. You're allowed to exhale now. So what if today isn't about changing who you are? What if it's about unlearning the lie that you had to change in the first place? What if it's about standing in your truth, just as you are, a little messy, a little tender, but also powerful, brave, whole, absolutely? Here is the 6th version of the speech. This one leans into Brené Brown's signature storytelling with a touch of humor, hard-earned wisdom, and deep invitation to radical self-acceptance. It's the kind of speech that makes people laugh, reflect, and maybe tear up a little, in the best way. Good afternoon. Quick show of hands, how many of you have ever thought, if I could just fix this one thing about myself, then I'd finally be happy? And how many of you have actually fixed that thing and still didn't feel quite enough? Yeah, me too. Here's the hard truth we don't say out loud enough. Most of us are walking around thinking we're one self-improvement project away from being lovable, worthy, or finally at peace. But I want to offer you something different today, something gentler, something truer. We are all perfectly imperfect. Let that land perfectly imperfect, not broken, not behind, not needing to be rescued or reinvented. Just deeply human, with rough edges, tender hearts, and stories that don't always make sense until we're further down the road. And here are 6 truths that have helped me live that out. Truths I come back to again and again. Imperfection is not something to hide. It's something to honor. Trying to look flawless is exhausting, but showing up with honesty, that's how people fall in love with who you really are. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's where all the good stuff lives. Love, belonging, creativity, courage, they all start in the same place, willingness to be seen, even when we're not polished or certain or ready. Perfectionism doesn't protect you. It isolates you. It's like wrapping yourself in bubble wrap and then wondering why no one really knows you. Connection requires risk, and that's okay. You're strong enough to handle it. Belonging isn't about finding a place. It's about coming home to yourself. When you belong to you, the opinions of others lose their grip. And ironically, that's when the right people find you. Self-compassion is not the backup plan, it's the plan. It's what gets you through the messy middle. It's what says, even here, even now, I'm still worthy of love. You don't have to fix yourself to live a full, beautiful life. You can begin now, in the middle of the doubt, the fear, the imperfection, not later, not once it's perfect, now. So here's my invitation to you today. Let's stop chasing the illusion of perfect. Let's stop editing ourselves into acceptability. And let's start telling the truth about who we are and where we are right now.